Good afternoon and welcome to the Lockdown Economy in the Netherlands. We are a social non-profit initiative by the think tank AlterContacts to help small businesses and self-employed professionals overcome the challenges of the pandemic and reactivate the economy. My name is Rosie Allison. I'm the local interview host for the Netherlands and the UK. And I'm happy to welcome today our guest, Stephanie Ward. She is a business and marketing mentor for small businesses with her company, Firefly Coaching. Welcome to the Lockdown Economy, Stephanie. How are you today?
Thank you so much, Rosie. I'm doing well. Thank you.
Good. So tell me a bit more about Firefly Coaching. What do you do as a business exactly?
Okay, well, as many small business owners, they started their businesses because they love the work they do, right? They're passionate about this thing they do. Most of us are. It's just that most people aren't super excited about marketing, right? So when it comes time to getting the message out, there's a problem. And I happen to be one of those weirdos that likes marketing. So I help these small business owners find a way to do the work they love, make a living doing it, but to connect with their ideal clients in a non-creepy way, in a way that fits for them, that feels good.
Right. Okay. And how long have you been doing this with Firefly Coaching?
I started 2002, so way back. And of course, things have evolved over time, but the essence has remained the same, which is to support small business owners so that they can do the work they love and make a living doing it.
Okay. And do you have any employees working with you?
I don't have any employees, no contracts. I do have what I call a virtual team, a team. So I've got website people. I use WordPress and recommend that to my clients. I've got an accountant. I've got a tech support here in Apeldoorn, which is another question, but I gave it away already. Which it's such a dream to have local people, although they do help me quite a bit remotely, which is another fabulous thing with tech, right? They can just log onto my computer and fix it in 5 minutes. So it's a godsend. But sure. Last month, my computer died. So I had to call them, go over there and get a new one. So they're on my team. I've got a virtual assistant and I feel like I'm leaving someone out, but yeah, so virtual people around me, but no actual employees.
Right. Okay. So you're based, well, where are you based exactly?
I'm in Apeldoorn, which is about an hour east of Amsterdam in the Netherlands. Okay. Yeah. And it's
but your reach is quite global, I guess.
It is. I work with clients all over the world. And so it's nice to be able to work from home and be able to connect with people. Absolutely.
Sure, definitely. So tell me, during the pandemic, when the lockdown hit back in March, what did you do exactly to try and stimulate your business? Did you experience kind of a drop in demand for what you do? And how did you react to that exactly?
I think for me and many other people that are doing work similar to mine is that for us, we were already in this moment, right? We were working from home, working with clients virtually. I've been working with clients virtually my whole business. So that wasn't a huge shift for me personally. And I totally understand for other people that it have real life, real time based businesses. That was a big challenge. And I did work with some clients to help them shift at that moment. But for me personally, actually, things were good. And I would actually say I might have even seen an increase in demand, which kind of makes sense, right? If people are struggling to figure out how to make their business work, they would come to someone like me. But I just continue to do what I do and what I recommend to people, which is to connect with people on a human basis. So yes, it's nice, social media posts, sharing content. And at the end of the day, especially during hard times, it's just about connecting with people, especially when we couldn't see each other anymore. That was really hard.
Yeah, definitely. And so you mentioned how you maybe helped a few small businesses to overcome some of the challenges that they were facing during this period. Do you have any tips, any things that were kind of the key things that kept cropping up that you would recommend to small businesses or even recommend that they didn't do?
Absolutely. Well, this one I'm thinking of in particular, most of my clients are service-based businesses, but this happened to be someone who actually was an in-person business. And so we shifted them to more of their products, which is, it makes total sense. So the general idea is when you look at your business model, it's always good to have more than one type of revenue stream so that if something like this happens, you can lean heavy on the other one. And what I recommended to other service-based business owners is what I just was mentioning, is not to think about these longer term, putting stuff out there, hoping stuff works, but things that you can actually control. And things you can control are reaching out to people and making a connection and having them see you and hear you and talk to them. And an example I'll give of that is, if you think about writing a blog post, hoping someone sees it and they think, oh, that's interesting, maybe I'll follow that person. And then eventually they're so interested, they'll reach out to connect. That's a long process, number one. And you don't know that they'll ever even see that post. So I know a lot of people, it's a way of hiding, actually, is to keep yourself busy doing all these social media posts. But if you get really clear about your intention and you reach out to people authentically with interest, genuine interest, and make a connection, wonderful things happen. So that's my highest tip to people during this time. And the thing to avoid is what I already mentioned, is don't spend time changing your website color, changing your font, making, a million social media posts, writing a million blog posts. Focus on actually connecting in a human way with other humans, even though this is the best we can do right now virtually. That's my top tip there.
Yeah, and what kind of avenues would you recommend in order to get this kind of close interaction in this time when we can only see people on a screen? What kind of mediums have you recommended using?
Well, of course, this is the closest thing to in-person, but you can also connect with people and support them by following them and commenting and sharing their stuff, right? So if you go to any of the social media platforms and your colleagues, your clients, comment on their things, support their things, share their things, leave a voicemail message for someone on WhatsApp or on LinkedIn. It's only on the app. Another thing that I'm a huge fan of is snail mail. So actually getting a piece of paper, address, stamp, and you put it in the box, and it's people, especially during these times when everything is virtual, we're kind of getting, overloaded with Zoom and virtual meetups. And it's nice to go into your mailbox, instead of just pulling out the blue tax envelope, that you get a nice note from someone that just says, hey, I was thinking about you.
Yeah, that's a really interesting tip, going back to basics and actually having something tangible in terms of communication. And so your business now, how's it going when we're kind of moving into this almost second phase of a lockdown?
Yeah, it's been going well. Like I said, I feel like I might be in one of the situations where my business might actually be increasing during this time because of the work I do. And I always try to give back. So I write blog posts and make videos I'm doing this to try to help everybody, because I know we're all in this together. And things are going well for me now, and that may not be the case in another time. And then I will hope someone else would help me. So I'm really connected to the idea that giving as much as you can when you're in the position to do so is really important, and that we all support each other a lot.
Yeah, I think that's a great attitude in these difficult times for everybody. And do you have an outlook for the coming months with your business? Anything that you're trying to do?
Well, it's funny, or I don't know if it's funny, ironic, synchronistic, is that I started my first online course, the development, in September of 2019, not knowing, of course, what's coming, and we started the beta course in January. That was going well, and it was going to launch in the spring, and then the pandemic hit. So it's a good thing, right, to have an online course, because that's a product for me that's a lower price point than working with me one-on-one. So I was lucky that I'd already started thinking of that. So that's a great tip for anyone else too, that's thinking about creating different revenue streams. If you are at a higher price point with your one-on-one services, you could create a course or something that's a ebook or an online course that's a lower price point, that's still really helpful for people, that they can buy now in case they're having trouble with budget. So the online course is what I'm excited to be promoting and sharing with people in the next few months. Other than that, I think I think we're still in for some pretty tough times, meaning it's that moment where it seems like, okay, the vaccine is just around the corner, but then that's also going to take a long time. So I think people should really focus on creating structure for themselves and keeping a routine, connecting with people continuously, and if you need support, ask for it, because there's nothing that shows more strength than saying, "Hey, I need some help."
Yeah, for sure. And it's great that there are many places these days where people can find that help if they just ask for it. So you've given some brilliant tips about how companies can diversify what they're doing in order to get through difficult periods. Communication is obviously key in your message, but with any small business, with any business, there are always things that you need help with. So if you could name maybe 3 things that you could do with help with right now, what would they be?
Yes, I would love some. I've got 3 ideas. So the first one is for anyone out there, especially any white business owners, if you are willing to help make an effort towards creating more racial equality. So ending racism. I've got a blog post that we're going to include in the show notes. But basically, to educate yourself is the first most important step. Support Black business owners, business owners of color, people of color, and support them. Again, like I was talking, comment, share, share their work, buy from Black business owners. There's so many things you can do. And when you're in the position to, wherever you're located in the world, vote, use your voice, use your rights that you have to help create and change this. That's one. 2 would be what things I've been talking about is to help each other. So that helps me because I'm going to need help. I do need help. And I'm going to come to that with the 3rd one. But sometimes, maybe you've heard this before, when there's something that you really need, if you give that thing, it makes you feel better. So if you're struggling and you're like, I really need this thing, and if you give that to someone else, sometimes it really does help in that moment, just to feel some peace. And what I said before, to ask for help if you need it. And the 3rd thing is what I mentioned with my online course, More Clients Less Struggle. I would love it if people would check it out or spread the word. Take a look at it if it could be a fit for you. If you have questions, I'm happy to answer it, because it's about what I support, being able to connect with people in a way that works for you. It's a step-by-step with videos and exercises and resources, and it's a way at a lower price point. It's 300 euros plus tax than working with me. So it's well, I'm sure we'll include the link to that as well.
Yeah, definitely. In the description, I will for certain add that link to your blog post. Could you just explain a little bit more again? What was your blog targeting? What was the idea of this blog?
The first blog post, or
Yeah.
It's how white business owners can help end racism and contribute to racial equity. Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, I'll definitely include the link to that in the description. That's definitely worth checking out. So thank you very much, Stephanie. You've given some really brilliant insights, I think, into how small businesses can diversify and communicate better during this difficult period in order to stimulate their business. Thank you, everyone that joined us today. If you have any questions that you might want to ask Stephanie or myself, I'll make sure, along with the blog post and the links to Stephanie's business, I will include some social media links so that you can ask any questions to her. I invite you to like this video and to subscribe to the AlterContacts YouTube channel, because in the coming few weeks, we will have more small business owners to share some insights with you. Stephanie, thank you again for joining us. Do you have any final words for any small business owners that may be watching?
Yes, I would love to just say, if you're thinking about taking some action, please just do it. I know it's hard right now, and it's easy to get discouraged or get into procrastination mode or perfectionistic mode. But if you just take that one action, action creates momentum, and that momentum can help you keep going. So try to stay in action, reach out to one person a day and make a connection.
Thanks very much, Stephanie. Great advice.
Thank you, Rosie.